Hello, and welcome back to the next episode of the Four Horsemen. My name is Paul, representing Diecast Graveyard. Myself, along with Keith from Outlaw Speed Shop, Xavier from Diecast Show Customs, and Brian from Diecast Outcast, make up the Four Horsemen. Now, unfortunately, this is the last month for Brian at Diecast Outcast. Life gets in the way, and he just doesn't have enough time to dedicate to the building of cars. We wish him luck in his future endeavors and thank him so much for becoming a member of the Four Horsemen. Starting next month, we are going to be inviting one person every month to be the guest horseman on the crew, and that will be announced very, very soon. Well, today's theme is shop truck with this 62 Chevy. Let's go ahead and get started with today's build. I wanted to go ahead and take this car apart, so I drilled out the post. I guess I didn't drill that post out far enough. You got to be careful, especially if you don't want to bend up the axles on the wheels. This one here, I'm going to wind up doing a wheel swap anyway. But again, make sure you drill out the car completely. We'll get in there with the file and we'll file down the posts, smooth those out. Here's the base, and like I said, we're definitely going to be doing a wheel swap on this car. Here's the interior. We're going to brighten up some of the chrome on this car because it's got a blue tint to it, which is really cool, but it's not what I'm looking for on this build. And here's the smoky windshield. That looks excellent. Let's go ahead and continue. This is looking excellent here. Let's dip it in the embalming fluid or the citrus strip. Knock off all the excess and then put it on something here to let it set for a while to let that paint come off. Let's move on. Here I've got the truck body. I'm going to be putting a tonneau cover on the back, and I had my friend Grizz at Bearcat 3D Designs make me up some of these tonneau covers. Now, if you want to get some of these tonneau covers, check out Vince at Second Chance Redlines. He is the official distributor for Bearcat 3D Designs, and he's got a lot of the 3D products that Grizz would make and put on his webpage. But Vince is now the official distributor of Bearcat 3D Designs. So go ahead and check out that page. Alright, we got the tonneau cover on here. I went ahead and sanded it down to get rid of some of the lines that the 3D printing produces. I let that dry. Now, I'm not going to polish it up because I'm going to paint the truck down with some opaque paint. And here I'm using gloss black from the Redline shop. They've got a really nice selection of the opaque paints, and we're going to mix it up with hardener. Now, the mixture on here is 5 parts paint and 1 part hardener. Now, when I mix up my paint, it's an approximate. But if you follow the directions on these bottles, your paint job will turn out fantastic. Here we've painted the car and we let it harden. That looks fantastic. It's exactly what I was looking for. Now, I'm going to be building a Diecast Graveyard shop truck here. Let's do a little bit of detailing on some things. Here's the interior like I was telling you. I'm using a Molotow chrome pen to go over the grille and the headlights area and the exhaust pipes on the side. This is just to get rid of that blue tint that's on the side there. Let this dry really nice and you'll get rid of that coloring or blue tint. Now, if you decide to take the chrome off with some super clean or something like that, just do the same thing as I'm doing here and it'll turn out really nice. Like I say, we're going to go in and do up the chrome tips on the exhaust and set that aside and let that dry. Let's go ahead and move on. Okay, here's the base. Like I said, we're going to do a wheel swap here. Take out the old wheels. Now I've got these wheels here from Samed Wheels. Now you're going to have to take a screwdriver and widen out the little spokes that hold the axles in place. Now notice how on these trucks it's incredibly narrow. So you're going to have to trim the axles on these wheels, as I'll show you here in just a second. Now the reason these axles are so long is because they can be used on multiple cars. It's just up to you to trim the axle down. And I have that featured in some of my other videos. So go ahead and check out some of my past videos and you'll see how to do this. Anyway, like I said, I got these wheels from Samed Wheels. Check out his selection there at www.samedwheels.com. Great selection, great prices, and he's here in North America. So you don't have to worry about that 3 or 4 week or that 1 or 2 month time frame that it takes to ship wheels from overseas in Malaysia. Now the products over there are nice, but sometimes you just don't want to wait that long. I had a discussion not long ago with somebody on Facebook, and they were talking about, is it a big deal if the wheels roll or if they don't? You know what? If it's for your own collection, no, it doesn't matter if they roll. But if you plan on selling these cars to somebody, they should roll. All right? Now, if you're deliberately making these to race down a track, then of course you want to maybe use the faster than ever wheels or something like that. But when you get a custom car from somebody, don't just assume that this is going to be like super fast down the track or something like that, because you are changing the wheels out, and unless they fit perfectly, they're not going to roll very fast. So something to be aware of. Here I'm putting my decals on the car. I put the Diecast Graveyard logo on the tonneau cover on the back. Here on the hood, I'm going to put the flames, and that's going to look really cool because those are gray going on that black background. It's going to be incredibly subtle. Let's go ahead and speed this up and grab your favorite adult beverage and follow along as we put the rest of the decals on this car. That looks excellent. Now after letting these decals dry, I clear coated the entire vehicle. Here's the interior with the chrome done on the grille and the exhaust pipes, and I colored and painted the interior black. Here's the base with those beautiful Samed wheels. Man, do they look excellent. Here's the truck, all painted up like a Diecast Graveyard shop truck. That turned out absolutely beautiful. I detailed the headlights and I detailed the taillights too. And here's what we started with. The 62 Chevy pickup truck, and I collected a bunch of these so I could have them for future builds. But we took the vehicle apart, we stripped the paint, we repainted it, we covered it with beautiful decals, and then we clear coated it, did a wheel swap, put it all back together, and this thing turned out absolutely beautiful. And here's the result. This is my entry into the 4 Horsemen build this month. The Diecast Graveyard shop truck. Now, I did a bunch of these for some customers or some subscribers or whatever, and the trucks turned out absolutely fantastic. I took my time, painted them all up, decaled them up like you see, clear coated it, and this is how they turned out. There's also going to be one chase truck for this particular model here. Now here is the card that I made, this custom card. That looks great with the Chevy truck on the card itself. That turned out beautiful. Here's the back of the card. Now the certificate of authentication says prototype, and that's done on a holographic decal. I signed the card in back, or on the back in gold, and I'd also like to thank Malon Plastics for the covers or the protectors for these cars. They are a new official sponsor of Diecast Graveyard, and man, they did fantastic. Now you folks that ordered cars from me, the Camaro and the Candy Striper, the Tesla, and the 62 Chevy pickup, these cars are done. But I'm on the road working, and I have a full-time job, and this is my hobby. Now I do apologize for the lateness of getting these to you, but I promise you they're going to turn out fantastic. By trade, I am a bomb disposal technician. That is what I do for a living. I did it in the military until I retired out of the Army, and I still do it today as a contractor for what they call UXO, which is unexploded ordnance. I'm a master bomb disposal technician. Again, I've got nearly 42 years experience about doing what I do for disarming bombs. And again, I apologize for the lateness. Check out the 2022 schedule at 4 Horsemen Diecast on the YouTube page. It'll let you know what's coming up. Starting next month, we will have a guest horseman every single month. So, hey, you might be getting a message from one of us asking you to participate as the guest horseman. My name is Paul for the 4 Horsemen representing Diecast Graveyard. Thank you so much, and cheers.